Joining me now, Kentucky Republican Congressman, House Judiciary Committee member Thomas Massie is back. Welcome back, Congressman.
Thanks for having me on, Kennedy.
So we're going to start the impeachment trial tomorrow. What do you expect we'll learn from the House managers as they lay out their case?
Well, you know, part of the defense is the First Amendment, that the president had made a political speech and that's protected. And the Democrats have already attacked that. But Bruce Castor, the president's lawyer, has already made the rebuttal to that in a presentation. He's got two Supreme Court cases that show that the president's speech was protected. Look, Kennedy, I don't agree with everything the president said, but political speech is protected. In fact, when you see TV ads running during the campaign season, they're chock full of lies. It's almost impossible to get a political ad taken off of the TV because political speech is very protected. In fact, if there weren't campaign ads with lies in them, there probably wouldn't be many campaign ads. But that's another topic.
How would Facebook make all their money from the Russians?
That's right. You know, and I heard you playing the clip from Liz Cheney. There were 10 or 11 Republicans in the House who voted for impeachment, and I voted against it. But far be it from me to defend them. But to their credit, at least he was still president when they voted to impeach him. That's the ridiculousness and the unconstitutional issue here going forward, is he's no longer a president. John Roberts isn't coming to officiate or to oversee the trial because it's not constitutional. It's as simple as that. And there was no due process.
I think that's a big deal. I really do. The fact that the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, although he's named as the presiding officer in an impeachment trial, isn't going to take part in it, and Democrats don't seem very interested in compelling him to come over and preside. So isn't it too easy to impeach a president? And wasn't the point of impeachment to make it more difficult? So has Congress somehow failed what Madison and Hamilton initially intended?
Well, look, if we're going to impeach past presidents, I'm calling dibs on FDR. I mean, this guy deserved to be impeached.
Yeah, I get the first Johnson and Wilson, and then you can have FDR. We got to go in order.
Rand said he would co-sponsor that in the Senate, or he would take up the case in the Senate if I would impeach FDR. But it is ridiculous to just go forward with this. And to my senator's credit, he did force a procedural vote that showed that they already lost 45 Republicans and they can only afford to lose 33 on the final vote. If 45 don't think it's constitutional, how are you going to get more than that to vote for impeachment? It's just not going to happen.
What are you hearing from some of your Republican colleagues in the Senate in terms of, are they open-minded? Are some people on the fence? Are there more Republicans on the fence than we know about?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't have, of the 5 who didn't vote for Rand's procedural vote, I don't really communicate with those senators a lot. As you can imagine, there's certain senators I talk to more than others, and the 5 who flew the coop on the Constitution there, I haven't heard anything from them. You know, and even those may not vote for impeachment. It's hard to say.
Yes, they may feel that this is somehow constitutional, and there are a lot of Democrats who defend the process by saying, no, impeachment is a political process. And I argue that we have enough that's political. At some point, we have to follow the laws and mores that we've got to make things a little bit more difficult so presidents can proceed without total paranoia. I mean, imagine President Clinton right now, like, oh, my God, could they do it again? Double jeopardy.
Yes, and if the Democrats are talking about process or political process, where was the process in the House? The Judiciary Committee wasn't even formed yet when the impeachment came out. It's supposed to come from the Judiciary Committee, but Nancy Pelosi wouldn't let the Judiciary Committee form yet. She was still trying to cajole her members by offering them committee slots in order to make sure she would still be Speaker. So there wasn't a Judiciary Committee. This impeachment articles, these articles went straight to the floor. The president didn't have a chance in the House to present evidence or some other case. And so there was no due process in the House. So it's interesting for them to say this is a political process because there surely wasn't much of a process in the House.
No, it doesn't seem to be a legal process. And my problem with the whole thing is I do think the president bears responsibility. I do think that he did a great deal of damage to the faith and the electoral process after he lost. And it was because of that, you know, he single-handedly lost those 2 seats, those 2 Senate seats in Georgia. And, you know, I think you'd have a hard time making a direct path from his speech to actual incitement. But he certainly didn't help matters at all. Last word, and then we have to go.
Yeah, I mean, clearly he said peacefully make your voices heard. I didn't agree with what he was saying about Mike Pence could throw out the electors. I didn't even agree that I could throw out the electors. But what he said was his opinion. It does, you know, he's got the First Amendment right. It's political speech. And so, you know, this is a farce. It's a sham. It makes Adam Schiff's impeachment trial in the basement look like a fair impeachment compared to what they're doing now.
Oh, Adam Schiff. He and Swalwell can just go on a mancation and stay there. Congressman Massie, thank you so much.
Thanks, Kennedy.